your boy Akademiks and check it out. Now, I didn't want to do this story for a lot of reasons. Number one, if you guys don't know, I don't advocate crime. Number two, I'm not the person that says, oh man, he got smoked, smoking on this pack is cool. In fact, I'm making fun of it, if you didn't know. But when I see people have a twisted mindset, and this is the reason why I stopped covering, if you don't know, I stopped covering like certain crime or be like, oh, he murdered him. If they're not popular rappers, I only cover it. Because the mindset in Chirac is fucking twisted. It's really backwards, right? You want the crime to stop, but you don't want nobody to get sent to jail for murders, right? So pretty much, you don't want nothing to happen. You want two things and they're on opposite end of the spectrum. If you want crime to stop, you got to get the criminals off the streets. But here's the thing. Nobody wants a crime to stop or somebody to get sent to jail when it's your gang, when it's your homie. Nah, that's the gang. That's what I'm following them. Can't have them go to jail. But here's the problem about that too, right? People who cooperate, right? There is this big thing, and it's always been like the street myth. I call it a myth because it's not a street code or street moral. It's a myth. Don't snitch on somebody because in reality, everybody's snitching. I'm telling you right now, you're probably sitting there acting like you're a goon or a gangster. Listen to me, right? You're probably like, this nigga's a bitch, right? But I tell you this right now. If they bring you downtown and they're fucking serious, because believe me, they're finding charges to hold people in jail for an infinite amount of time. If they look at you and be like, yo, there was a murder committed. We know you know who did it. We know who did it too. It's not like you're telling us nothing new, but we need a motherfucking witness for trial. We need a statement. And if you don't fucking cooperate, we're going to throw your ass into the mix, and believe me, we're going to get you to do 20 to life. Okay? Now, granted, you ain't do nothing, right? Believe me, you could act tough, you could huff and puff and do whatever you want to do, but believe me, in 45 minutes and maybe a cheeseburger, something from a dollar menu, and a little bit of milkshake, you'll probably be singing like a bird. You'll be in there singing like Patti LaBelle, him, and him too. Yes, you'll be singing, believe me, trust me. Okay? So this whole thing about not snitching, it's a fucking like facade. It's like when somebody says, yo, if you win the Powerball, right, you got me with half, right? And your homie says, I got you, you my niggas, I gotta take care of my niggas. If that nigga really won the Powerball, he's out. Fuck it, peace. You never hear from him again, changed his number, blocked everything. He's out. Now, let's get into this. So, here's the backwards mindset in Chicago, and this is why I know that crime in Chicago just never will be solved, right? You can't hate the fact that criminals get sent to jail, if they are criminals, and you can't then also hate that there's crime being committed. You know what I mean? So you can't hate that crime is being committed if you also hate when criminals go to jail. Now, what am I talking about with this whole thing? Tay600, right? If you guys don't know who he is, he's down with the 600 gang, or used to be. I mean, Cdai kicked him out. But people are calling him a snitch after Rondo Numba 9, a.k.a. Kuno Number 9, and also Cdai, and which is 9 and 22, they got convicted of murder. Okay? Now, people are looking around and they're trying to they're trying to come to grips with it, but instead of trying to come to grips with it, like, damn, yo, this is what murder gets you? Possibly 45 years to life imprisonment? They have decided, and this is a very human and natural reaction, so I'm not even blaming them, but they're blaming other people around the situation. They're like, yo, well, if he didn't get on the stand singing like a bird, or if he didn't put in a statement, if he didn't snitch, they'd be free. So you get a lot of people, they're mad, or they're more mad at the people who allegedly cooperated than the guys who allegedly did a murder. Okay, it's so backwards, I can't even think of it. Now, let's get into what everybody's saying. Right? And also, we're going to get into the whole Tay600 thing. Once again, I can't pull court transcripts for a little while. They're sealed. Well, not really sealed, but I won't be able to get them for a while. And I don't know exactly what was said in court, so I'm relying on a lot of people who claim they were in court. So take everything I say in this report with a grain of salt, but these people also are emotional because the person who got convicted is gang, okay? Now, first and foremost, Lil Durk tweeted out, snitch-ass little boy. All right. Now, Lil Reese also tweeted out something saying like I had to unfollow some homie because he's a rat or something like that. And some people thought he was talking about me. But number one, how the fuck could I rat on you when everything I know is like public knowledge? I'm not telling you nothing that's no secret. There's no fucking secrets. If I know it, it's no secret. Trust me. Okay. But and if you don't know, Lil Reese followed me recently on Instagram, no, on Twitter, I mean. And yes, I booked my ticket to South Africa. Trust me, I'm going. But in reality, he was talking about Tay600. a lot of people have been reacting to Tay600 over the last couple of days, but the person who's reacted the most probably is 600 Breezy. That's the Rookie of the Year. Now, he says this on Instagram, right? On Twitter, and we're going to correct him and also talk through it. He says, for your information, if the police come grab you for contempt of court, that means you told in the interrogation room, but you didn't snitch on the stand. Now, let me correct him by saying this. You know who also got arrested recently for contempt of court, and we reported it? Lil Reese. Is Lil Reese snitching? He's not. You know he's not snitching. What he got arrested for is a bench warrant. He has an ongoing gun charge, right? And he basically, from what I hear, either missed a date or didn't do something that court said he should have done. They picked him up on a warrant. A contempt of court charge doesn't mean somebody's snitching. Now, could it mean somebody's snitching? Yes. But of course, he's reacting to Tay600 because Tay600 got picked up on a contempt of court charge. Now, let's continue. He says, y'all respect snitches. The streets fucked up. He says, I love all real street niggas who never folded. I was facing 15 years fed, first case, and stood 10 toes down, didn't snitch. Now, I would like to say to 600 Breezy, here's the thing, man. How much do you really think the guys that you hang out with, you know what I mean? A lot of times, man, you can't even trust these niggas not to fuck your bitch. Like, really? You think you could put your trust in? I'm glad you didn't, like snitch when you had the opportunity to, but you're going to trust everybody that you're in a gang with because they got like 600 at the end of their name. You're going to trust them to not tell on you for you to get like 30 years in prison? Is that really? Like, are you niggas taking blood oaths? Like what type of oath are you niggas like operating off? Do you have his mama at gunpoint? You got his kid at gunpoint? Like, what incentive does he have to not tell on you? Yes, the whole gang squad shit is kind of cool, but once a nigga say, listen, we're about to press these charges and you about to get arraigned, people will be like, fuck that, I'm telling. Now let's continue. He says, free Hoodo and Beans, real street niggas, took 10 and 20 years like soldiers. Now, I'm not sure who those guys are, but I could tell you this. I would not be taking no 10 and 20 years like nothing, okay? First of all, right, I'm guessing these guys might be innocent and maybe they're just kind of holding their mouth. But if I ain't do shit, best believe me, the nigga that do shit, he will be in jail. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm just being realistic. If you guys don't want to hear it, I'm sorry. I can't really be like one-sided with it because at the end of the day, I'm a regular citizen. I got to tell y'all the truth. You might not agree, but we could agree to disagree. Now he continues by saying, a lot of motherfuckers owe Ida an apology with y'all bitch ass. And he also continued because this was the day Rondo Numba 9 was found guilty and Cdai. He put the tear emoji. Then he says, send your brothers up the river. And he's talking about a statement or statements that Tay600 supposedly made. Supposedly, Tay600 never took the stand, never pointed nobody out, but apparently and allegedly, because I can't confirm this at this point, I'm not sure if I'll be able to ever confirm it, because a lot of times they try to hide or make sure that these statements can't be tracked because, of course, you know what I mean, you know the stigma. But pretty much, they're saying there was a statement used by a bunch of people that got interviewed at first, and they're used in court now. They're saying Tay600 was one of those people. Okay, now, 600 Breezy said this. Tay a bitch-ass, snitch-ass nigga, and them bitches on LA grave. You never should have been with us. Then he says 45 to life, though. Then a woman who was in court, she said that jury clearly seen there was no fucking evidence. Video didn't show shit. No prints, no DNA, nothing. Just statements. Damn, bro. Then also she said they could have beat it had everyone shut their mouth from the start. Now, 600 Breezy said this, and to end it off, he said, 9 couldn't even look me in my face. Cdai dropped his head and walked out. I'm sick to my stomach. Now again, they're talking about statements. Nobody really took the stand and pointed Rondo Numba 9 and Cdai out allegedly, but they're talking about statements that were introduced in court by people who made these statements probably at the beginning, right? And probably the court system wasn't trying to get a hold of them for them to either show up in court. That's why you could probably be like, okay, so if they're not going to be in court, why were they getting arrested? But they could possibly been getting contacted by law enforcement and the court because they're trying to make sure that they're not contacted by the defendants to flip. Because say, you know what I mean, say for whatever reason, Tay600 shows allegedly. I'm saying allegedly, I don't know. Say, for example, he made a statement, right, at the beginning. Now, when it comes to trial, and they put the statement in motion, and they're like, yo, so we have this one guy, he said this, and then read out the statement, the jury's like, wow, that's what happened? Imagine they bring the guy who made that statement in court, like Rondo's team, or Rondo and Cdai's, like, legal defense team, and he gets up on the stand and be like, yo, the Chicago police, they beat my ass, they made me say that shit. I ain't see shit. I ain't see nothing. Them niggas is liars. To be honest, all I know is free the guys. They'd probably be like, damn, well, that statement's out the window. So that's one of the things they try to make sure they keep the people who gave them statements, who are kind of witnesses, pretty much they got to keep them in check. So maybe if you got locked their ass up until the case is over, that's what you got to do. So that's pretty much what you guys got to digest. You got to then figure out, do you think he's a snitch? I don't really give a fuck. I really don't care because, once again, these guys, and, yo, I like most of these guys' music. For the most part, unless you're making fuckery. I can't like fuckery. But I'm not going to defend you if you're a murderer. Okay? Now, let me read out what somebody allegedly said was a statement made by Tay600 in court, right? Of course, he didn't say it verbatim, so I'm guessing somebody read it. And also, someone sent me a DM, a conversation with the Famous Seven. I believe he's down with the gang in them. Now, they said, yo, what was the statement? What was Tay's statement? He said, Tay's statement was, he was in a car with 3 other people. He saw Cdai and Rondo, got out of the car, walked up to dude and Rondo shot him 5 times. When they read it, I'm like, nah, bro. Now, once again, I don't know what's what. You guys will have to make your minds up for yourself. Again, to me, I will point out, it is hypocritical, though, if you're mad that somebody you like go to jail, if you would really like crime to stop. You can't have, all crime is bad unless the homies do it. Now, again, I'm not sure if these guys are innocent or guilty. The court system has said they are guilty. They will be getting sentenced. They hopefully, if they really are innocent, will get an appeal and they will get to present their case in a better fashion. But at least, as of now, they're saying that these guys are guilty. Okay, is it Tay600's fault? I don't know. From what I'm hearing, there's multiple statements. Multiple. Okay? Multiple. And when they use all of these evidence, and a lot of times they're using also circumstantial evidence. If you don't know about that, look it up. Where really, the jury don't need to see a video of him pulling the trigger. Yes, the jury could piece together like, wait, so both of you are on camera running away from the scene? A guy definitely died. We find a gun that we could link to both of you guys. Well, you guys got to know who did the murder, or you guys did it. So that's exactly what happens in a court process. A lot of people, man, they don't see the side because they see the side where everybody's free. And when something happens, nothing, like you see the movie thing. Okay, you just keep your mouth quiet. They let you go. You're back on the street. That's not how it goes. All right. Get in the comments. Make sure you guys like. I'm trying to be as fair as possible because, number one, I don't want to demonize. I don't know what Tay600 might be a killer himself. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to demonize him because, number one, I don't know. Number two, again, you can't be hypocritical and say you want crime to stop if someone tries to help out with stopping crime. You get mad at them. Now, granted, if he's supposedly down with them in their gang, that's some inner shit. So, of course, they're going to be mad at him because he was supposed to be with the squad. You know what I mean? It probably hurts more when somebody you're with kind of tells on you than the stranger who was just passing by and saw that shit. So, it's what it is. It's for you guys to decide. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like. Definitely subscribe to your boy Akademiks. This is all sad. All right, you see when we first started, when the rocket launcher, it was popping. This shit was like hilarious. But now you realize that people are getting sentenced and they're getting found guilty and they're probably going to get sentenced to life. It's not funny no more, right? It's kind of like, this shit ain't funny. This shit's sad. But that's the life, okay? You got to have the good and the bad. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like. Definitely subscribe. I'm out.